Welcome to this edition of the Pasco Chamber Minute. My name is Colin Hastings, Executive Director of the Pasco Chamber of Commerce. And today we're joined with Malin Bergstrom, and we're here representing the Pasco Aviation Museum, and such a neat start to what you've started here. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to tell us the story of the Aviation Museum and what's the history and the background, and maybe intertwine that with a relationship of what Bergstrom has meant to this.
Sure. Well, we're thrilled. I started on the airport, born and raised actually in the Tri-Cities here, and my family's business in 1971 opened in this very building. It was a maintenance service building, and over the years we outgrew the building, and we're lucky enough to move into a modern facility. But I grew up on site here, and really have a lot of fond memories about playing in the old tower, which I probably shouldn't say, but I did. So then that connection has always been there, and the building was vacant and was being considered to be demoed. And so I heard about that, and next thing you know, the community rallied, and we saved the old tower. And now we're opened a museum, and it's just been fantastic.
Well, it's a gorgeous facility, and tell us a little bit about the community help and those that helped step up and what that entailed to get us to this point.
The only way this happened was because the community rallied around saving the building and then restoring and renovating it. So contractors, private donors, a community historic preservation grant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
It's just been outstanding, and again, could never have happened without the volunteers, the people that just came and offered their time, and not necessarily skilled labor. We're all doing the best we can, but the volunteers would just come in and say, what do you need done? And they would get it done. It was miraculous.
Yeah, 2 hands and 2 feet, and it's amazing what you can get done. So
and will to make it happen.
That's right, That's right. So what are some of the interesting artifacts here that you have on display that people can come in and take a look at and learn about?
Well, we have this fantastic radial engine right here. That's one of many artifacts. This is a Jacobs engine. It's also nicknamed the Shaky Jake engine. It rattled a lot. And that would have been an engine that would commonly be on a biplane, like a Stearman. Okay. So 40s, 50s vintage aircraft. 30s even. Yep. So a lot of historical artifacts, and everything is donated. We're getting these items that come through the door that have a connection to aviation and our local history here. So we have, of course, leather flying jackets. Those have been donated. Uniforms. Just all kinds of fantastic artifacts. One
of the unique items that I noticed when I was here last week was the U.S. Airmail Bag, sort of souvenir from the Seattle Chamber to the Pasco Chamber that was offered up back in 1926. What's the story behind that?
It's just remarkable that it's still around, and that it's made its way to the Pasco Aviation Museum. So 1926 was the first commercial airmail flight out of Pasco to Boise and then Elko, and that was a big deal, and the Seattle Chamber and the Pasco Chamber were involved in that commemoration of that flight. So the Airmail Bag, it's a little tiny leather pouch, and it's embossed, it's beautiful. Was handed from the Seattle Chamber to the Pasco Chamber in commemoration of that 1926 airmail flight in a biplane. You know, this was the wild, wild west back then. Right, yeah. And pioneers, these pilots and mechanics and Varney Airlines really pioneered the aviation airmail service right here in Pasco. Right. And eventually, Varney Airlines merged with a couple of other airlines, and that became United Airlines. So we Tri-Cities, Pasco is the birthplace of United.
Yes, and happy to announce as well too that there'll be a direct flight provided by United to LAX too starting early next year. So
as it should be, out of Pasco, their home base.
That's right. So. And the neat thing about that artifact too that we're discussing with the satchel is it was just rediscovered recently too.
It was a wonderful local family, the McMillan family, Sally McMillan, donated that satchel. It had been in her father's office, insurance office, which was in downtown Pasco, which was originally the Chamber's office. So it kind of moved around, but it's made its way back home.
And then you've had a chance to visit with probably a number of people that maybe worked here or was affiliated with the Naval Air Station. Any one or two particular stories that really jump out, what you learned?
Oh gosh. Probably the one that sticks out the most is Altha Skogli. Is her maiden name. She was a young lady that volunteered, became a WAVE, Women Accepted into Voluntary Emergency Service into the Navy. And she served here at Naval Air Station Pasco 2 years, met her husband here, settled here, raised her family here, and she still is here. She is in Kennewick. She is 96 years old and sharp as a tack, and has told all these stories about living on the base in the barracks, the day one of the hangars burned down, all the events, the dances and morale boosting events that they would have on the base, and she just has told us so many of these interesting details that you wouldn't get out of a book or anywhere else. So.
Well, and it is interesting too, because there's so many facets of our region that had such a big hand to play in World War II, and this is just one of those opportunities to come down and experience it. So why don't you give us a little information on how people can find you and where they can get some more information and make a visit?
Yeah, so the Pasco Aviation Museum is open on Fridays and Saturdays, 10 to 4. We have volunteers in the museum each day, Fridays and Saturdays, to offer guided tours. They can explain the displays and talk about some of the insider stories like we just mentioned, where we can't put everything on the posters and in the display cases, but these volunteers are just fantastic. So the entrance to the museum is currently through Bergstrom Aircraft Lobby, and that's located right next door to the historic tower. It's easy access, and again, Fridays and Saturdays, 10 to 4.
Yeah, and this is just first phase. We have more that's going to be coming too, right?
It is just the first phase. We're very excited. We're working on the second phase, the second floor above us, and it's going to be even more spectacular than the main floor. Everybody's been very positive about the main floor and the transformation, but the second floor is going to be even better.
And so if you wanted to get some more information online, where can they go? Do you find that?
The website is savetheoldtower.com. Or you can call either Bergstrom's office at 509-547-6271, or you can call the museum directly at 509-521-7117.
And if you're interested in flying or flight seeing trips too, Bergstrom can handle that with you.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Malin.
You bet.
Appreciate
Thank
it
you,
and
Colin.
enjoy coming here.
Thank you.
As for upcoming events for the Pasco Chamber, mark your calendars for December 10th for our very popular nonprofit luncheon. That's going to be at the Red Lion in Pasco, presented by GISA, where we feature many nonprofits and just kind of give an elevator spiel so that you as a community have a chance to understand a lot what's going on and the work that they're doing. Also, right now in the office, we're preparing for the Eastern Washington Ag Expo, which is January 8th and 9th at TRAC. We're really excited to partner with Lamb Weston and US Cellular on this premier Ag Expo for Southeastern Washington and Northeastern Oregon. Right after that is our Ag Hall of Fame on January 17th, again at the Red Lion in Pasco. Port of Pasco is a big partner with us on that, and this event gives us in the Pasco Chamber an opportunity to honor the area's economic driver and the individuals that stand out from their peers with their contributions to the community. So until next time, I'm Colin Hastings, and keep your eye on Pasco.